Good morning, Cavaliers. How you doing? Today is the day in which we kick off the 2023-24 Calvary Elementary School Mentorship Program. As I told you guys in our meeting last week, I'm super excited. I know that you guys are too. You wouldn't have stepped up for this opportunity if you weren't. And again, just to help you understand that this is a program in which you're going to give to these young men. And in that process of you giving and serving them, you will be blessed. I promise you that. And just keep an eye out for the small things. Get the idea of the feeling that you're getting as you're pouring into this young man, and see how you benefit from learning how to lead and help others grow into the best version of themselves. As we get into the day, I want to remind you of a few points, because these are important things that we need to recognize and remember as we get into this. Get around the kids, see which ones that you kind of can relate to naturally. It doesn't mean that kid will be the one that you're going to be associated with, or the one that you're going to continue to mentor throughout the year, because you will be paired up with a specific young man from Cal Elementary School. Because let's just be honest, it's not always about the one that might be the easiest to get along with, or the one that seems one of the one that's most outgoing. There's some other things there that I think that we need to understand, that, you know what, happenstance and just the nature of life, it happens. And in a case that we may be put with somebody that we're not sure of, it might be exactly the person we're supposed to be with. And so there are no coincidences. There are no thing that happens by accident. There's always a purpose and a reason. And it's about a perspective and a mindset that you have going into this. So today, first thing I want you to do is bring the encouragement. I hope that you're starting off the week strong and that you feel good about the day, you feel good about this week. But reality says that sometimes we can wake up and we may not feel 100%. We might have had a long weekend. And I'm just going to stress to you that in the case that it happens today, or in any moment where you're going to have an opportunity to stand in front of somebody else, or even your students from Calvary Elementary School, be encouraged and encourage them. And in the action of encouraging others when you might not be 100%, it will bring you out of that rut. Because remember, you can't be both. You can't be negative and positive. You can't be encouraged and discouraged. You have to choose to be one or the other. And so in the process of encouraging that young man and encouraging other people around you, you will feel encouraged. So make sure you do that. The next is bring a standard of greatness. I always refer to being uncommonly great, and you guys certainly fit that role as being young men who've stepped up to mentor and lead these kids. And again, I'm excited to see it happen. But be a standard of greatness. Know that you're not supposed to be the guys that they may see regularly on YouTube, or the guys they see on TV. You may be sports athletes, but you're the different type of sport athlete that does things in a way that brings honor and glory to your gifts and talents that you have, to bring glory and a positive attention to our community. These things are highlighted in the world, but sometimes they're not the ones that rise to the top. Sometimes the negativity and sometimes the flamboyant behaviors of people are the ones that they get most recognized on social media. And these young men see social media too. So be a standard of greatness. And it does not mean that you guys have to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. And in that moment of making a mistake, maybe a word slips that you shouldn't use around these guys, you take ownership of it and explain to them why that's not appropriate and why we shouldn't use that language as an example. And so again, bring an attitude of greatness, a standard of greatness. Show them how to be uncommonly great, as all you guys are. Be reminded that you are a mentor and you have a different relationship with them. You know, there is a standard of some type of friendship and trust that's developed in this relationship over time, but reality is they still need to understand that you are the one who's responsible to them, and that they need to make sure that they align themselves correctly, they listen to you. And so you don't want to break that line of them thinking that you're their friend, and they see you as that friend they hang out with on the weekends, or they hang out with in school, where they can just act and do what they want to do or go as they want to go. No, these guys will test you, and it's just a natural thing we all do. And so make sure you embark upon the fact that you are always going to be their mentor, but you're going to be a trusted confidant that you can spend time with, and they can spend time with you. So make sure that, again, they understand the boundaries, that you are the person in charge. And in any case that a young man's not listening, don't lose your mind on it. Come back to one of the adults that are present, and we'll help you through that. Next, be accountable for your student and the leaders who are in charge. So with that, you can't expect this student to go to where you're not. You can't expect that student to be what you're not. And so as an example, that's why we have the academic standards in place for you guys that you need to keep yourself doing well in school, because we expect them to be doing well in school. We can't expect those guys to be where they need to be on time if you're not showing up early and on time. We can't expect them to use the right language and the right behavior if you're not demonstrating the right language and behavior. Remember, I know you're going to be with 25 other mentors, and they're going to be a lot of fun that's going to be had by all. But you know what? Our focus should be on those kids first and foremost. So let's not allow ourselves to be distracted. Let's not allow ourselves to be out of form or out of shape or not where we're supposed to be. Be present in the moment. Know that we're here to serve those young men and focus on them, and then allow things to happen, but happen in a way that brings honor and glory to those kids and to our community. Next, take the initiative. Okay, so if you see something that's not being done, or if you see there's an issue over here, or if you see there's trash being left behind, even if it's not necessarily the guy you're with, make sure that you help them understand why that should be done. Reach over and help out another Cavalier to help guide those Eagles. If you see that something's got to get done and one of the leaders is trying to get it done, and myself or Miss Lee or Miss Jennifer aren't able to take care of it, you know what? You could take the initiative and help us get us there. Always do that, because that's an important trait of a leader. So take initiative and be intentional. Be intentional. Show up today with the mindset that I'm going to make the young man that I'm with, I'm going to make his day better. I'm going to encourage him. And today, if today was the only day I get to spend with him, it's going to be the best day that he's ever experienced with a Cavalier at Calvert High. And lastly, I would like for you guys to put yourselves in their shoes. Put yourselves in their shoes and ask yourself, what would it look like for me if I had a mentor that would be 16, 17, 18 years old? And what would I expect them to be? How would I expect them to act? What type of things would I expect them to bring to the table? Use that as a mindset. I would often tell any coach that I have with us to ask them to think about when they're coaching, be the coach that you would want your son or daughter to have. And I know that's far-fetched and it's hard for you to think about or imagine, but maybe you could be the mentor that you would want your son or daughter to have. And so think about that as you leave today, and know that today could be the last time you see them. That's a weird thing to think about, but reality is, make today the best day, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Make today the experience you have with these young men the best they've ever had, because you're not guaranteed to do it again. I love you guys. Can't wait to see you soon. I'm out. Go Calvert. Boom.